but I've been having really interesting conversations with people who are in the trenches. There are CMOs, VPs of marketing, marketing leaders in companies at the moment, and they have been really willing to talk about where they've been seeing success, where they've been seeing challenges. And I feel it's a bigger opportunity for our audience to learn about other things they might think of, or to break out of their box of what they've been doing, or to even relate potentially to these unique scenarios that these leaders have been sharing with me. Hey there, this is Adam Helweh, and you probably have not heard from me in a while, and there's a reason for that, and that's why I'm here. I want to share with you. Did I just hit my microphone and make a big old bump sound? Is that what I did?
Yeah.
All right, I'm leaving it in right from the get-go. I'm here with my teammate, Deanna. Deanna, how are you doing?
I'm awesome.
I was asking you if you had a beverage with you, because I don't know about you, but it's warm over here, and we plan on doing a little recording. This is my beverage of choice, is poppies. I've been having those.
I love a poppy
for years. What do you got going on?
I've got a good old-fashioned filtered water in my summer tumbler.
A good old-fashioned filtered water.
Yes.
Like double filtered from a spring in Indiana out in your neck of the woods?
Exactly. And I have ice from my fridge.
Wow.
Is it too soon? Yeah, I know. Sorry, Adam. I know. You're
you don't
dealing
get it
with some ice issues.
You don't get it delivered every morning? What's going on?
I know. I should add it to my milkman delivery.
Well, thank you for joining me, Deanna. Deanna's been is one of my favorite folks in the world. My teammate here at Secret Sushi, and I figured some folks are probably getting tired of hearing my male voice here. We got to get a voice of reason in here with Deanna. But also I was getting a little lonely on the podcast by myself, so I wanted her to join. And she's joining me to sort of discuss what's been going on with the podcast. It has been, when was the last time that we recorded, Deanna, or that I recorded?
May 27th, 2021.
Those were the days, right in the tail end of pandemic. Well, not barely the tail end of pandemic. I think still it was going on for quite some time after that. But, just past the longest year of everybody's life, 2020. It seemed like 10 years all together. But it's been a long time since we recorded an episode last. And we just wanted to talk about that a little bit, because we got some really cool stuff planned. And so again, right, there was the pandemic was going on. We're really focused on the business, the clients, the team. And that's where most of the attention went, kind of around the time of that last episode. And the podcast kind of wasn't a priority at that point. Was taking care of, sort of the people around us and connected to us. What was your experience around that time, Deanna? Because I know you were behind the scenes helping me put the podcast together and putting it up and so on. But do you remember the good old mid 2021, 22 era?
I do. I was probably living my best life, to be honest. I have since spawned a child, and he's perfect. But life is different.
Life is very different. And share with everybody, well, what's his name and how old is he now?
His name is Noah, and he'll be 2 years old in August of this year, 2024.
So that shows how much time has passed. As you said, I didn't say it, you spawned a child, and that child is almost 2 already. My gosh. And he's cute. And I came out there in Indiana. We had our team retreat a couple months ago, and that was incredible to have everybody face to face. As many of you who may have already been or have converted to remote working know, right? Oftentimes you work with folks and you don't sometimes you might not ever even meet them in person. And our dynamic with our team is so important that, like, just meeting in person, we just felt that it was a given to do that. And because you had Noah over there, and we wanted to come see Noah and hang out with you over there, the whole team went out in your direction, so you didn't have to travel at all,
No.
and you got to show us
I
all
was the
around your
trusty
spots.
driver. Yes.
You're Well, you were the only driver, something
Uh,
like that. The
right.
trusty driver. Actually, you were a great driver.
Radical candor. Radical
You
candor.
radical candor. You were actually really a great driver, to be honest. And it was super, super, super hot out there. Like you were swimming through the humidity out there. But so let's see. So we had a pandemic that we were dealing with. You spawned a child, and then we, again, more recently, had a team retreat. Then there's also this explosion of AI that has happened over the last couple years. And so uh, we embraced it. And we embraced it because I'm a geeky person, and I enjoy technology, and I enjoy all the emerging new things as they come out. And so I couldn't wait to get my hand on it, but also really realized that the rest of the team needed to get waist deep in this. What's been your experience with the way we've sort of rolled things out so far with that, Deanna?
Yeah, I think I just remember, I'll never forget, I was decorating my Christmas tree. I was on maternity leave, and I get a call from Adam, just checking in, making sure everything's good. And he starts talking about generative AI. And I'm thinking, my brain is just blown. I'm not even there yet with any of that. But he started talking about it. And I feel like out the gate, you were very much like, this will make our lives easier. Where a lot of people were panicking, like, this is going to take my job. This is, robots are taking over the world. You were very much like, no, this is going to make our life easier. This is going to make us better, more efficient. And it's been that sentiment from the beginning. So it's never felt as intimidating, I think, as it can be for a lot of people trying to adopt it, how to adopt it, and what's the best way, and how do you still have that human touch added. So my experience has been really positive.
Yeah, and we'll be getting into that and talking about it a little bit more in the future. But it's definitely been something that's been impactful. That, again, priorities were focused on keeping everything moving and grooving in the right direction. This is such an impactful thing across not just marketing or what we do in business, but what everybody is. Everybody's using it or being impacted by it in some form or fashion. And so it was something I felt we really needed to pay attention to early on. Couple other final things that kind of happen along the way as well is we have continued to get recognition as one of the top agencies in the US, recognized as a top agency in California, where I am physically located. And so the agency is considered in California, although our team is spread across the entire US. And so that's on, for instance, Clutch and some other online directories and places where folks rate and review agencies. So these are coming from people, our own clients, the experiences that we have with our clients, actually, sharing their experience working with us. But one of the ones I'm not, I would say, most proud of, but very, it was a long time coming, was on G2, because G2 is often thought of, right? We often think of it as a place to go check out like software tools and things, and where some of the customers that we work with in the technology industry want to have a good rating and good reviews, because it helps them get more customers. They have an area for services, and digital marketing agencies is one of those services. And to get into one of their spring reports, that you have to hit a certain level of performance and get a certain level of reviews and so on and so forth. And so we won or got recognized as a high performing agency in a bunch of different areas: content marketing, digital marketing strategy, and all that stuff. Um, I'm trying to remember what time of the month or the time of the year it is now for us. It's summer. So it was for spring of 2024 and then ultimately for summer of 2024. So all things considered, I think we're going to be in that category for some time as we keep the train moving. But being recognized as a high performing agency in a number of different categories is incredible addition to the recognition we'd be getting elsewhere. And the thing I love the most about that is it's strictly based off of what we do with our customers. It's not any pay to play sort of thing like that. It's just how we do. So with all that said and the update given, we want to just sort of share what are the plans now for the podcast? Do you know, Deanna? Do you remember what the plans are for the podcast? Would I be putting you on the spot, asking you if you knew what the plans
It
were?
would have been nice if you filled me in on the plan first. No, I'm just kidding. I am very aware of the plan.
All
And
right.
it's exciting. We've got a lot of cool guests coming up. We've got some episodes that were remiss about recording a while ago, but they're still super awesome, valuable content. So we're going to publish those. We just wanted to kind of give you guys some context as to what the delay was and where we've been. And just know we've got a lot of awesome episodes coming your way.
Yeah, and on top of that, there's been a little shift in even the goal of the podcast in the sense that Marketing the Raw was always about having just kind of just like a bit more vulnerable or a bit more just straightforward conversations with no BS, no fluff around marketing in general and digital marketing, and coming at it from a bunch of different angles. Because my way of looking at marketing is there's so much touches it and so much has an impact on it and influences it. And so as you go back and look at any of the previous episodes, there's everything related to, mindfulness and how you build your team and work with your team. There's the good old trusty dusty stuff related to like SEO and content marketing, but there's also some stuff related to like emerging technology and how that impacts things and so on. That stuff all still matters. I think the main difference is I've been having more conversations as of late directly with practitioners. So a lot of those previous conversations, I'd say there were some practitioners here and there. There were a lot of practitioners, but I was having conversations with folks that have a lot of recognition in the industry. They're speakers at conferences. They've written books, this, that, the other. But I've been having really interesting conversations with people who are in the trenches. There are CMOs, VPs of marketing, marketing leaders in companies at the moment, and they have been really willing to talk about where they've been seeing success, where they've been seeing challenges. And I feel it's a bigger opportunity for our audience to learn about other things they might think of, or to break out of their box of what they've been doing, or to even relate potentially to these unique scenarios that these leaders have been sharing with me as I've been doing some research reports and talking with folks, amongst other things that I've been doing to have these conversations. And they've all been kind of raising their hands and being willing to say, yes, I'd love to talk about this more. I'd love to talk about it on the podcast. And in fact, we have some plans to put together a sort of a marketing roundtable of sorts where folks can take the conversation from being more of a listener to something like the podcast, to actually engaging with peers that are like-minded and want to talk about some of the challenges that they're having and their successes, and share them in real time with folks.
I'm super, super excited to hear from these like boots on the ground, these voices you don't typically hear from, and they have that super raw experience and they're willing to share it. And I think it's going to be awesome. I know.
Yeah, and thank you for using the word raw, because I think it actually fits the name even that much more, right? Because it's like marketing in the raw. It's just barren it all in some real life stories of what's going on inside that their particular business, which I'm sure can be relatable and used for other folks. So it becomes more actionable, and again, the intention is not to be fluffy about things. It's to talk about real stuff that's going on, so that hopefully marketers like you will have an opportunity to put some things in practice that we share with you. So with that said, you talked about, as we wrap up, that we have a handful of episodes that did get recorded a while back ago, and as we were talking about relaunching for sort of the second season of this podcast, we realized, oh, those are all still cool episodes. And we have an episode from all the way back in maybe the tail end of 2020 or 2021 with one of my favorite folks, Chris Brogan. And funny enough, is I reached out to Chris and apologized for having used his time for a podcast only to have it sitting on the shelf for a while. And Chris is like, been there, done that, all good.
We love you, Chris.
Yeah, we love you, Chris. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you letting me retain my honor. And then a couple other folks that we've had a conversation. We had our second conversation with Rand Fishkin, and Rand is somebody who I love to talk to. I love to just see what's on his mind, period. So we'll be sharing some information. We'll be sharing him on an episode, talking with him on an episode. And then Aaron, I think his last name is Sogi. He is an awesome video creator, and I think might describe himself as like a video consultant and coach. But he's on, when you think of like short form video, like Reels and TikTok and any other place where there's short form video, he's on there. He's sharing tons of great information. And in fact, I was really enamored with his particular episode because he shared so much good stuff. I think I let it go on a bit longer than
we've just been hoarding it to ourselves. We gotta share it with the people.
Like, this information's too good. This is just my research, and I'm sharing. I'm telling folks it's a podcast, and it's just going to be shared with my team. That's it.
Nice.
And so you will be hearing more from Deanna as we sort of talk at the beginning of the episodes about what's going on and everything. But I hope that you will continue to subscribe if you're listening to this and you're one of our previous subscribers. But I hope this also sets the stage for those that see this and go, oh, why is there such a big gap between those last podcasts and the new one? The intention here is to be regular and ongoing with these episodes. And beyond those 3 episodes that were recorded, we have no shortage of folks that are actually lined up to get into the trenches and talk about what's going on in their world. So thank you all. And right after this, you should see the next episode pop up in the feed. And thank you for everything. Talk to you soon. Take care.